going live, didn't you? All right. Yeah, you're welcome, ambassadors. Riding the vehicle of the car launch as we speak. You're welcome.
On a fucking BMW level. Wow, this is nice. Oh God.
Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Boss, hold on. No. I thought you were going. So boss, hold on. Launching today. Connecting up to ensure Today that you're launching your mega machine, how do you feel?
Second generation.
Yes, sir.
I've had my terrible moments. I've had a time that things were so terrible, so bad for me, but I never gave up until this business found me, and my stories, my life, everything literally started changing through this amazing business. Why I made this business my priority? Yes, I'm going to share why I made it my priority. So some people, you've still not seen this business as your number one priority. You've still not seen it. You still have some one or two things distracting you. You have many options. And that's why you're not giving it your best. That is why you're not giving it your all. That is why you're joking, you're playing with it, you're going off and on all the time. You come into the business, you leave. You're just fluctuating like Nigerian Nepalite. You've not seen the business as your priority. You've not seen the business as your salvation. You've not seen the business as something that can save you from whatever you're going through. You pray to God all the time, show you opportunity, open the doors of heaven, bless you, do this one, do that one. But God has given you this blessing and you're not seeing this business as a blessing. If you keep distracting yourself in the process, and guess what? On the long run, you're still suffering. I saw this business, I took it, I made it my priority. Reasons being that I knew where I was coming from. My family, the background where I was coming from, I had no choice but to make this business my priority. I had no choice but to make this business my number one. after God the next thing in this business. Because I came from a very poor background, a background that is difficult for us to have. Even 1 square meal, just 1 meal is difficult, let alone of two square, 3 square. A poor background that our parents were busy producing children, but they were not even thinking of how do we train these children? What do we have in place to train these children? 10 children, for that matter, 10. And I happen to be the number 9 in the family. So in some people's mind, they'll be like, you have elderly ones now. They should be doing well. They should be able to help you. They should be able to do this, do that. Trust me, every single person, starting from the first to the last, was struggling. And my father don't have any property in his name. He doesn't have property. What I mean, he doesn't have property. If there was anything my father had in his name, I think it was the motorcycle he was driving there. Motorcycle. And he was a civil servant. That's the main part. He was a government worker. And my mom was a petty trader, selling all these foodstuffs and all these foodstuffs, provision and the rest. That was what she was using to train her children. My mom said her primary goal was let her just hustle, have money to give her children food. Whether they go to school or they don't go to school, that one is not even her problem. Let us see food to eat, even if it's once in a day. That was where I was coming from. But you know what? That background taught me a lesson. And this is why I tell you, whatever background where you find yourself, see, stop doing blame game. Stop asking God, why this, why that? Just see that you're there for a purpose. You're there for a purpose. I learned so many things from coming from that poor background. I learned so many things. I found out that even you that is in this business, a time will come, a time will come, you're not taking this business seriously, you're playing with it, you're joking with it, you're not just doing anything seriously. A time will come that your children will ask you questions. They'll ask you, oh, mom, dad, during your time, what did you do with La Buena Vida project? Because I had the La Buena Vida project started so years. What did you actually achieve? Because when I see my elderly ones accusing my father, asking him so many questions, where were you when this one was happening? Where were you when the other one was happening? The man was looking frustrated. And he's now started to realize, yeah, maybe during his time he had opportunities, but he didn't take it serious. Maybe he didn't take it serious. And that was what got him there. And I tell you, everybody was suffering. The first son managed to go to school. Because my father and my mom, they were struggling, gathering resources just to send him to school. Okay, maybe if he goes to school and graduates and come out, he will not help us. He will help us. We, the other ones, he will help us. But you know what? He actually went to school, studied maritime engineering, maritime engineering, graduated. It took him many years before he got a job. This thing I'm telling you, I'm telling you this story. These are stories the things that entered my memory while I was small. I was below 8 then. I was below 8. These things were, entering my head. I was gathering this, all these things into my memory there. And guess what? He eventually got a job. He got the job, but you know what? He did not last long on that job. He didn't even last up to 6 months on that job. He was murdered. He was killed. So it looks as if the hope, the savior we now have is gone. So our world came crashing again. And the other ones were there, they're also struggling, trying to help themselves. Literally all of them helped them. They're the ones that sponsored themselves in school. But we, the girls, we came last. And the only thing they tell us every morning, according to my elder sister, because I wasn't home, I was sent out as a house, to go and do house help for somebody at the age of 8. So my elder sister, they were under pressure to go and marry at that time. They were under pressure, go and marry. They were telling them, go and marry. Since you guys are women, just go and marry. If you marry, maybe God will bless you with a rich man. People will no longer suffer. That was what was really happening. Something happened one day. One day, something happened. And that day was the day it was done on me that if things are not changed in this family, one day all of us will just die. One day all of us will just die. Before I left the house at the age of 8, my sister, the one that senior me directly, we were playing. We were playing at the compound or whatever. And we were playing. The way she was doing, she was looking pale. She wasn't really looking healthy in my eyes. All these things are caused by malnutrition and many other things. She was looking pale. And in the night, evening time, she started convulsing, started having convulsion. And I was like, okay, now let's take her to hospital. My mother said, where's the money to take her to hospital? So an elderly woman came, carried my sister. She was placing her on fire. I don't know how they used to do that thing, these local herbs. They put herbs and was warming her body, her leg, her hand on fire so that she can, somebody that is cold, somebody that is dead, like. So as they were doing that thing, I was standing by one side. As a child, I was like, is it that my sister is dead, or is it that my people cannot take her to the hospital? Ladies and gentlemen, my sister died that night. And I tell you, if my parents had money, they would have taken her to the hospital. If they had money, they would have taken her to the hospital. Somebody that was playing with, all of a sudden, that was it, gone, dead. And I started asking myself, even as a child, what is really happening? I was wishing that I came from in a rich background where there is money, where things are working fine. What is really happening? How do we keep going? It did not take up to 2 years. I lost the eldest sister, lost the second one as well. So I lost 3 of my sisters. 3 at that age as I was then. 3. We were 10, see how we are reducing. I was sent out of the house at the age of 8 as a maid. And God so kind, grace found me there. I was favored in that family. They took me like a child, sent me to school under scholarship. I went to secondary school under their care, even got admission under their care. They were the one that, used to send me my school fees as at the time I was in university. But each time while I was growing up, each time I remember my family, I shed tears. I keep asking God, when will this thing change? But to make matters worse, my elderly ones are not even helping matters. They were not helping matters. They were worsening the situation by, thinking that maybe my father could have tried to be rich, could have tried to acquire some property, could have tried to have money so that we wouldn't have suffered like this. And I remember before I graduated from university, we had a family meeting and we were called for a family meeting. And I went to them, I sat with them in that family meeting and they were talking. Everything they said, there was nothing meaningful that came out of it. All they were saying is, why they were blaming, frustrating my father. And I would see my father cry. A man will cry. And I asked them, I said, for my elderly ones, known as senior me, I said, what can we do to make it better? Like, what can we do? Leave my father out of the equation. Remove him. This man is, he's aging already. What can we do to make it better? I'm not seeing anybody bringing up idea. What they are still doing is blame game, and everything. You know what? I distinguished myself. Like, I singled myself out from my family. I don't care. If I can disown a friend, I can disown you as a brother. If you're coming with negativity and you think there's nothing you can do, you're not being positive, you're not seeing yourself that, okay, we can do this or we can do that. All they are doing is looking for who to blame. And this is why a lot of people are not succeeding in this business. They're looking for who to blame all the time, all the days of your life in this business. And you don't see yourself trying to do something to change it. That was how I separated myself from my brothers many years ago. I don't go home. I don't pick their calls. I don't talk to them. I just back. Like, they don't even see my back. I left. The only person I do talk to was my mom. It was my mother. The only person I could manage to use my phone and call was my mother. If I see their call, I don't pick it because nothing good will come from them. All that comes from there is negativity. Fight, quarrel. I walked my NYC to Abuja. I had reason for walking into Abuja. I was thinking if I come to Abuja, maybe God will bless me with a job, a nice job. I'll start having money and I'll start taking care of my mother and at least our last born, yes, the last born left is my younger sister. But I came here. I was shocked. After NYC, there was no job. The little money I saved, I was using to print CV, going up and down, looking for job, nothing. I eventually got one miserable job. You're going to see the picture of where I was working. One miserable job like that I got. Why did I take that job? I took that job out of pressure because our last one has gotten admission. Nobody to sponsor her. Even the money she used to write jam, I gave her. Now she has gotten admission. She told the other ones said, where's the money? Did your father train us? Those blaming stuff keep coming up. I told her, I said, you know what? Just allow this, allow me, I'm going to train you in school. That's the promise I made to myself. I said, don't worry, I'll train you in school. I'll train you in school. Let's start the process. So I had to take that job because I need to raise some money to be sending to my sister for her school. I took that job. How much was I paid? 45,000 naira. What can I save? By the time 45 comes, I send her, oh, what am I left with? I was still struggling in the city of Abuja. I was struggling. But before that time, you know what? Immediately after my NYC, some month thereabouts, I saw this opportunity. Through a friend I met in camp, NYC camp, we're in the same platoon. I don't know her from Adams. I don't know her name. I don't know her family. I don't know her origin. And that's the boss, Miracle Morgan. So because we're in the same platoon, I was telling her, CCO, please, I'm stranded in Abuja. I don't have anybody in Abuja. I actually work my NYC here. I don't have a place. If after POP, I don't know where I'm going to stay. She was like, oh, don't worry. I'll even talk to my parents. Let me see if they can house you, this and that and that. That was how I got to know her. I eventually didn't stay in her place, but through help of a family friend, somebody who had to talk to, this and that, and the person that provided me somebody else where I had to stay all through my NYC. But that was how I met my savior. That was how I met my connector. That was how I met that woman, the person, that single person that brought me into this business. God can show you opportunity through any means. And this is why I tell you, wherever this opportunity was shown to you, whether you saw it, you saw the flyer inside Gutter and you picked it, whether you saw it on social media, I don't care where you see it. What are you making out of it? What are you making out of it? She saw me, we became friends. We exchanged number. And after NYC, guess what? Everybody is still looking for opportunity, job, even she herself. Everybody's looking for a job and all of that. And then one day, I don't know how it happened. I chatted her up or called her thereabouts. And she was like, Messi, I said, my sister, I'm looking for a job or any opportunity for me. She said, okay, can you come to Shalom Plaza? I said, what am I using myself to do? Immediately, I just carried myself straight to Shalom Plaza. Sat down for the presentation. It was Ambassador Didi that presented. I listened to the presentation. What I was seeing on the screen was making sense. But how do I start? That last card in my account, was equal to the amount to register. The last money I had in my account, I was saving from Malawi, small money, is equal to the amount they were asking us to use to register. That time, registration was 36K. And that's exactly what I was having in my bank account. I was looking at it, I was troubled. I was seeing the opportunity. I was on fire inside me. I was like, if I take up this business, it means I'm going to succeed. It means that one can happen to me. I was on fire. Even the presenter knew that this one is already into the business. As we finished, Miracle brought me out and said, she wants to start closing me. I said, don't bother closing. I will pay this money. So once I get home, I will do the transfer. And immediately I got home, I did the transfer for that my one account. Started the business. Right? With so much determination. I was doing the business. Coming around, showing up, doing questionnaire, doing many things in my business. But guess what? Devil came. When your breakthrough wants to come, when God wants to bless you, devil will position his agents in different forms. It could be in human form. It could be it must not come like a witch, black witch wearing black veil. No, it can come in the form of a human being. So there was distraction at that time. I had to quit from the business. Another platform came. What's the name of that platform? Forgotten, right? And a guy told me, okay, can we try this? Since C2 Energy is still slow and steady, it's not really picking up now. Can we try this one? I think this one can even work out. I joined, immediately came. Anything that has to give me money, anything that has to do with money, Messi is not joking with it. I had to join. But do you know what? December, January, thereabouts, that one crashed. So as that one crashed, in my mind, I was like, stop. If that one has crashed, is it La Buena Vida that will not crash? It's crashed too. So everything is crashed. Let's go back and continue our suffering. That was how I left the business. Now I got myself in that job that was paying me 45K. I was in that job, working 1 year. All the salary they were managing to pay me, I was sending to my sister. And that job was so tough because you'll be on a high target. If you don't meet up to your target, they slash the same 45. 45 miserable thousand. Sometimes some colleagues of mine, they don't get up to 20K. If you underperform, they remove money. Nobody wants to hear your story. They remove money. And that was how we were struggling. I was struggling. One day, one fateful afternoon, I don't know who on radio in my office. And I had Ambasoronke advertising again, own your life campaign, own your life campaign. I said, own your life campaign? Has it not crashed? Is it still existing? Is it still existing? That was what I was asking myself. Is it still existing? So, okay, no wahala. So, if this business is still existing, it means my account there is still, it's still valid now. Maybe I need to go and check. But you know what? I did not go back. Why? Fear. I was like, I've messed up. If I go back, who will they welcome me back? Where will I start from? This one, that one. My upline went for a master at that time, so she's no longer in the business. Well, I was just frustrated. I was just frustrated. I was in that job. I got married in the same job. Married, fine. Was pregnant, It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. But something made me to leave the job. When a colleague of mine died on that job, that's when I knew that even if me die, this is my worth in this business. A colleague of mine died in the job. She was to go meet up a client or something, fell from a bike. She was pregnant, fell down. She didn't know she was having internal bleeding. She died at the spot. And guess how much our company could pay? 1 million naira. This is us that we disburse more than millions of naira and return back millions of naira back to the company. But what her life was just 1 million naira. And I asked myself a question, Mercy, imagine if you are the one. So you mean it's 1 million naira they will send to your family? That's what you achieve on this earth. I started becoming more troubled. I said, what can I do? How do I leave this job? What else can I lay my hands on? What can I start doing now? I need money. I can't stay without money, but I don't like this job. I don't want this job anymore. I needed to understand. I got into this business to save myself as well. I needed to save myself. I was tired of so many things going wrong. Nobody was bringing financial support to the family. Nobody. If I had 1 or 2 people that were supporting, then it would have been easier. It's as if I was carrying a burden on my head. It's as if I was carrying the load of others on my head. And I tell you, that day, I don't know what happened that day. It's just the day God has decided to forgive me my sins of leaving this business. And he wants to connect me back again to that opportunity he gave me 2016 to change my life. I logged into Instagram, saw my upline chat. I just sent her hi, and she immediately replied hello, and we started chatting. Messi, where are you? I said, I'm in so place. She said, are you serious? You're in the same estate with me. I'm coming to see you right away. And she entered back, came to my house that day, and we got talking. She said, you know what? I finished my master's, came back, and I had to go back to Own Your Life. I said, which Own Your Life? She said, Own Your Life, the one you know now. They've taken over the whole plaza. In fact, I qualified for 3. This and that and that. That was what changed it again for me. I said, I go nowhere again. I'm coming back to this business. I'm coming back to this business. People on this section, if you don't take this business, if you don't make it as your priority, I don't know what else. I don't know what else. If you're making your job your priority, it's not even your own. You can be sacked from that place. You can be sacked. Another reason that made me to place this business as my number 1 is because I want to be an asset in my marriage. I don't want to be a woman that is a burden to her husband, a liability, a woman that cannot contribute, a woman that cannot, pursue her own goals and achieve it. I want to be an asset. I don't want to be the one that in the month of honey, please give me money for pad. Money, please give me money for hair. Money, please give me money for this. I want to be, in fact, I want to be a provider. I don't want to be a consumer. I don't want to be Oriako. I don't want to be a, what's it called? Is it Odoziako and the rest? Let me be a Patako. Let me be one of the women that will be contributing to their husbands. I just decided I want to be an asset. To some people, your husband is your asset. Your husband is your cash out, is your POS. You don't know it's terrible. You don't know it's risky because anything can happen and your life partner is gone. What do? You go back to square zero, start struggling again with the kids. I made this business my priority because I want to be an asset in my marriage. I want to be respected. I want to be honored. I want to be worshipped. I don't want to be seen as a burden. I don't want to be seen as a liability. I don't want to be seen as a consumer. I want to be a woman that can contribute. If it's projects in millions, let me bring my own million as contribution and give you, let's do it together. I also made this business my priority because I want my kids to have the best. I don't want my children to go through what I've been through. I don't want them to go through that part. It's not palatable at all. I don't want them to go through that part. It is wickedness that you suffer. You came from a poor background like me, and you still allow poverty to survive. You do nothing about it. You leave it for the next generation, as in it becomes generational stuff. Every generation is inheriting it. God forbid. I decided that my children will never ever, they will never ever smell. They won't even see it. They won't even perceive it. That kind of background. I have regrets. I have regrets in this business. You may be asking, regrets? Are you saying that it's risk in the business? It's not that one. There's no risk as long as I'm concerned. But I have regrets. I have things that if I remember today, I keep regretting. Why? Why didn't I? Why this? Why that? I have regret today. And my number one regret was starting small. The day I saw it, I started with one account, yes. Right? That was what I could afford. But I know people that my situation is even better than their own. But they started with multiple accounts in the business and they started succeeding. I started small. I had limiting belief. In as much as I was showing up, coming around, but in my mind, I was not seeing the business as, oh, this business can do this for me. This business can bring me out of this struggle. My mind is still somewhere else. My head is processing another thing. My head was processing job. My head was processing other business opportunities. My head was not at a place to process this business and see this business as my risk, as something that could save my life. And that's why when you have limiting belief, because you don't believe in that thing, you just want to, let me try it and see how it goes. So you start playing small. You start small. Your activity is small. Booking small. Follow up small. Everything you are doing is small in the business. Come to sell meeting once in a week. The second regret I have is quitting. If I had not quitted from the business in 2016, hey, God of Israel, what are you not telling me? You can't see me in this level. No, you wouldn't have met Messi Anthony in this level. Lila, it's not possible. Because I had to sit down to process it. All the people I knew as at that time, as 2016, what level are they today? Somebody go to the chat box and tell me, what level are they? What level are they today? These guys are they are mega, super mega rich. Advanced in rank, G leaders and the rest. Listen, I'm telling you, was as at 2016. What made me to leave? Who sent me out of the business? Distraction. Not see it clear that what I'm looking for out there is right there in front of me. It's right here in front of me. Quitting, I left the business. And coming back after you have wasted your precious youthful time. Excuse me. The time I would have put inside grind to become more better, I've wasted it. I dashed it to a company that doesn't know my value, that doesn't know, and they used me for a period of 2 years. and then you come back. But I thank God for grace. I thank God that I was able to find my way back. What of those that will never find their way back? They will never know that they've misfired. They will never know that they've gone astray. They have to come back. Pride will not allow them to come back. Fear will not allow them to come back. And this is what we tell you, keep checking on your teammates, even the ones that have left the business, because you don't know. You don't know how maybe they've been waiting for you to reach out to them, or they've lost your contact, or they can connect back to you again. I was in the office 2 days ago. Somebody came looking for his upline. I said, when did you register? He said he registered 2019. He was asking for office. He doesn't have the number of the upline. He was just moving around asking. I said, okay, what you can do is you need to connect to that, get her number. Because if you don't get her number, how will you? Imagine if the upline is checking, and eventually go to this person, and the person is ready to come back. The third regret I have was missing my very first event that would have helped me to start emerging from that 2016. They are telling you now, buy tickets for Emerge. You say no, 10,000 naira. 10,000 naira is too much. You are not even asking us for how we are going to transport, how we are going to eat, how we are going to do this, how we are going to do that. Guess what? I missed the first event. If I had gone for that first event, I would have been in the business. I can beat my chest to tell you that I wouldn't have left the business. I quit from the first M Global event that happened that period. I did not attend. I did not buy the tickets. I didn't show up. You're not going to miss 2023 events. Decide. You can't eat the future. 10,000 naira to buy 10,000 naira tickets. You're using it to buy the future, multi-billion future for yourself. You're negotiating. I don't know. You prefer 10K to the future that this business has for you. I missed my first event. It's one of the regrets I have till today. Because I tell myself, if I had gone to that event, something would have happened to me not to leave this business. Something would have happened to me not to leave this business. But because I missed it, that was where the devil channeled. The devil just shifted my face to another thing. And that was I left 2016. And then came back. And ever since I came back, I don't play with events again. This one that is coming in January, I told my leader, anyhow, high as bad as the bad, I will deliver inside that place. But that event, I am not missing it. I am not missing it. I have to be there because I know what event has done for me. I know what event has done for me. Challenges I faced. You think I did not face challenge? I am Messi Anthony, a human being. I have blood flowing through my veins. I have challenges that I faced in my business. Number one was my husband was not in support. The time I had the opportunity to do my business as a single, I missed it. And I'm telling you, if you're a single person, use the opportunity now. If you're a single lady, a single man, use the opportunity of your singleness to do what? To build your business. Because if you misfire, and by the time you're married, your time is divided, your attention is divided. My husband was not in support. Let him not hear that something mentioned, bring people. He doesn't want to hear. And when my upline came to my house and told me, I was already on fire. The man was, better go back to that job. Which one is coming to bring people? What will I even tell people my wife is doing? That's his concern. What he will tell people his wife is doing. When your wife, her mind has gone back to business, it's just the body you're seeing. I said, oh, I don't care what your friends will tell you, but see, I want to do this business. He banned me. He banned me. You know when the man puts ban on you, I don't even go to market because he didn't trust me. he didn't trust that. In his mind, he'd be like, I may say this man should go to market. From market, should divert and go to Shalom Plaza. I don't even go to market that time. For 3 months, he banned me not to step out. And my baby was tender. Sally was about a month plus then. He said, no, you cannot do this business. I don't want to see you go out of my house or to say you're going for training or whatever. Don't do this, don't do that. I said, okay, no problem, sir. I've had you. I will not do anything. I know that time I was preparing for Sally's dedication. He put some money in my account set for dedication, preparation, and all of that. I called my upline and said, please, I'm sending money for 7 accounts. Part of the money they gave me for preparation of child education, I wired it for upgrade. I started taking risk. The man said, don't do the business. I said, me, Messi Anthony, will do the business. I know that you cannot beat me. You don't beat women. I know that one. You can only shout, break glasses, break table. But I'm sure that your hands will not touch me. I will do this business. That was how I upgraded my accounts. Guess what I did? I had to convert my dining table. My dining room, I converted it to what? To an office. I converted it to an office. If you come to my house, I don't have dining. What are you dining? What are you eating? That place is my grind space. I had to grind the business in my house for 3 months. Back to back, 3 months non-stop to prove to my business space, to prove to him. 3 months. My upline will go for events for me and he will bring name lists. I stop at my gate with questionnaire and give me, I will carry, I will go and be doing booking. My people will come, their prospects are filling the hall. They ask, who did this booking? I told them, be bringing lists. I will be booking from home. My upline will go and present for me. That was how I was building my business for 3 months. The results shocked him. The result I made for 3 months shocked my husband. He was like, are you serious? A business for 3 months, you have made this, in fact, you have paid yourself salary of 1 year plus in that place you're working. Please, where is their office? Start going there. Go and learn. Go and train yourself. Go and build yourself the more. That was how I gained my liberty to face this business fully. For those of you, your husband is telling you, don't do it. It's because you're lazy. Yeah, you are not focused. Your mind is not made up you want to do it. If your mind is made up, you can do it for your bedroom. You can do it. And that was what I did and started my business. It was easy for me to manage this business with my baby. No, it wasn't easy. I had to carry a baby that was sucking breast, coming to Shalom Plaza for training, doing presentations, going out for this and that. And guess what? I was moving with most of the events I attended in La Buena Vida. I had to go with my baby to the events. I didn't allow these things to be an excuse. I did not allow it to be an excuse one day. I saw it as more reason. This is one of the reasons why I should do this business. I put my baby in the business. As I'm making money, she too is making money. Rejection from friends. Friends rejected me. The friends who I managed to get, they rejected me. Stop talking to me. Some of them blocked me. Did I stop? I didn't stop. I continued. Attrition now happened in my team. Imagine you are registering people, bringing people into the business. You think they work with you. 1 month, they're out. In fact, it's as if the thing used to happen to me every 3 months. Every season. Pandemic, before pandemic, I had leaders. During pandemic, they are gone. New leaders came. After pandemic, the whole thing was just messed up. But I found out that because I was still building, because I was still learning my skill, because I was still learning, I was still, trying to perfect leadership skills and all of that. That's what was causing attrition there. But did I stop? I did not stop. Do not quit your business. Do not stop your business because all your downlines left. How many downlines do you even have? How many downlines? They ask you how many downlines. See, you have 5. 5. You've not seen people that have 1,000, 2,000 downlines. It's you that has 5. You want to quit. It should tell you that you have work to do. I decided that I will not allow these challenges to bring me down. God helped me in this business. And I was consistent in my grind. Consistent, back to back. Whether pregnant or not pregnant, I was consistently building my business. I took full charge of my business activities. Business activities I'm talking about is everything in the business. I took full charge, starting from up to down. Starting from up to down. I started becoming jealous of my team. I'll be gathering my people. Oh, come on, let me train you. Oh, come, let's do this. Oh, I was not looking at my upline. I was not disturbing my upline. In fact, my upline will become a messy. How do I help you? I'll say, don't worry, save your time. Let me do it. That was how I was building my business. And mentorship was there for me. I attached myself to people that have results. And Dr. Didi, my upline, and many other leaders that will do go to. Please tell me what to do, and they'll tell you what to do. And I tell you, mentorship is instruction. Mentor me. They will tell you, go and do this. You disappear. You come back later with another excuse. It wasn't easy for me Imagine when you don't feel like they're telling you do this, you just go and do it. I just have to go and do it. Mentorship was there to help me. Multiple accounts was the game changer. You can't be in this business, whether you are moving with speed or with slow and steady. You can't be here and you're doing one account. Because I was asking myself, that time I registered, had it been it's 15 I did and quit, it will make sense now. I prefer you do multiple accounts and quit than you did one account, you quit. What are you quitting for? Because when you come back, you know that you've already sown a seed. Oh yeah, let me go and build. Multiple accounts was a game changer for me. I had to upgrade my account to the max. And sell meeting, back to back. I make sure I don't miss sell meeting. During pandemic, during lockdown, something happened in our team. We are trying to transition from offline to online. It wasn't easy. And me, I was mentally discouraged. I was morally discouraged. I was tired. But I knew one sell meeting. It was Boss Gloria, Mrs. Gloria Kachukuda, anchored that sell meeting. As I entered that same meeting, that I was just weak. I was like, let me even hear what they want to say. I was tired because the fear of pandemic, of COVID, is the beginning of wisdom. So I listened to her same meeting. She said, you know what? At the end of this same meeting, send some message to your so number of people and invite them for section. I just copied that message and forwarded it. Got 7 accounts that day. Ha! My morale came back. Hi. My morale came back. Say, hey, so we can do this in online? Yeah. That's how we start. That's how my business pick up again. Destination events like the merge. I told you, it's one of the regrets I have. Missing that first one. If you miss the merge 2023, you are dead on arrival. Like you have cancelled a decade already from your business. You've cancelled a decade. You have wasted a decade. And another thing that blew my business was social media. Social media. I had to learn the social media skill, the social media strategy, to start building my business, expanding my business in other countries. I have my team in Ghana, my team in Cameroon, Sierra Leone. How did I do it? Social media. And I all the leaders I have, the Lions team that are listening to me, maybe 1 or 2 that I personally had encounter with. Every others came from social media. These are people I recruited from social media, started working with them, and guess what? They started building with me. Because the ones that have seen me finish left the business at the early stage of my business. I was able to build my business through social media. And I tell you today, if God and if La Buena can do it for me, do you believe that the same can happen to you? I need your response in the chat box. If God on my side, and with the help of mentorship with the La Buena Vida project, that I'm here today succeeding in this business, what about you? You think your sin is worse than mine? You think God loved me more than you? It can happen to anybody. And I charge you today to take your business seriously. This was where I was working as of 2018. You can see how hungry we are looking here. You can see how hungry we are looking. The highest paid person here is just 90K. How many matches is 90,000 naira? How many matches? How many matches is 90,000? Then how many matches is 45,000? This 45 is something I can make in a section. Per section, no, I did not say in a day. In a section. In a section. But I wasted 2 years working for this company. And I tell you, that job you're scared of losing, that job you're scared of taking leave from your boss to come for the merge, that thing you are scared of giving up on, fear of the unknown. Ladies and gentlemen, if you keep holding on that fear, you find out that you wake up in 2-3 years' time and find out that you have messed up yourself. Decide to give up on these things. You are tying down your future, you're tying down your destiny, you're tying down your blessing. Let it go. If it has to go, let it go. And face your life here. Face your life. Financial freedom can never come from this kind of, look at this, look at me here. Financial freedom cannot come from this angle. That's the honest truth. And this was when I had to come back to my business, started my business with my baby. I have to carry her up, and anywhere I was going, I'll carry her. I'll carry her like a handbag. Anywhere I was going, I'll carry her. Because I don't want anything that will make me, they will say, oh, stay at home, allow the baby to grow. And when the baby is 10 years, then I don't want to use I was carrying her up and down, up, and me and her were doing the business until she started school. Give up on your excuses. Give up on your distractions. Divorce them today and stay focused. Because if you use your children as your excuse, by the time they'll start bringing bill tomorrow, your eyes go clear. Then you'll be looking for gent 5K, 2K on Instagram. You'll be looking for a celebrity that will do giveaway. When you would have worked, when you have the energy to work. And I remember, starting my business from a grind space, a cubicle space rather. As I started my business in 2019, I had to pay for a cubicle space, start grinding my business there, back-to-back event. I wasn't joking with my activities. For Modupe in the section, she knows, she was my corner mate. You don't bring gist to our corner. If you're bringing gist, your gist will stop at the entrance. Because by the time you enter, I'm going, the Modupe is going, the other people are going, you don't do PM in that place. We took our business, and Modupe business too has peaked. And I see her in the next level very soon. Because we don't joke with our activities. For full-timers here, what are you really using your time to do? Full-time. What are you doing it to? Like, is it full-time to come and full gist? Or come and full talk? Come and full up the time. You are not doing the activities. You don't want to sit down, let your bum hurt you on the seat. You don't want to sit down and have back pain. You don't want to do the activities, but you want money in your DTC. Error. You must do the raw activities. Must. I decided I was going to do my business. And no matter what, I would do it. I decided I was going to do it. And this was when we had the Grass to Grace event in January last year. I was there with some of my teammates, and I was awarded as the Millionaire Circle member as well. But something made me, before I went to this event, ladies and gentlemen, I hope everybody can hear me. Someone say I can hear you. Before I went to this event, I was not making up to 1 million. My income was fluctuating 400 to 500, 400 to 500, 400 to 500. Some months, 500, some months, 100. I did not even see 700. I did not see 800. I did not see 900. That's the honest truth. And then that January, I went to the event. As I was in the event, I was telling myself, Messi, if you finish this January and you your leg did not touch 1 million, just know that maybe you need to go back to that job. I told my GD that I said, you see, this January is the beginning of my Millionaire Circle journey. And she said, yes, Messi, I know you can do it. I started. Something stood out for me at that event. Every trainer that talked, not as they were talking, yes, we were getting the training, but two things hit me so hard. The story of Dominion Paul was one of it. The story of Onyike was another of it. Look at a small girl of 18 years. Look at me, Messi, 30-something. And you're telling me this girl is not just a millionaire, but a millionaire mentor. That one is the one that turned my head. It's okay. What of Onyike I know from school? I knew her from university. We stayed in the same hostel. I knew when she started as a secretary, a PA. While I was in this business, I do presentation, making money. I started the business, started touching money in the business before her. Has bought her Range Rover car. Not only that, is making reasonable income, 5 million upwards, and has raised other millionaires. I said, no. If you leave this arena and you don't change, it means I will never change again. That was when the fire, that was when it came so hot on me. I said, never ever will I play small. I'm going to be pumping in energy back to back, back to back, back to back, because that story challenged me. It changed at that event. Imagine if I miss that event, I will still be making 200K, 300K. I will still be making in fact, I will not even smell 1 million. I will not, 999.9, I will not even smell it. That event was the game changer for me. And I told myself, this year will not finish without me buying my car. This year will not finish without me becoming 2 Club member. This year will not, those things I wrote in my diary, I have achieved them. If not all, but I've achieved a good number of them from this opportunity. I had to travel to Ghana this year. With pregnancy, I had to travel to Ghana. I told myself, I'm going to achieve this, achieve that, achieve that. So the pregnancy now came. I said, no, even this pregnancy will not stop me. I will carry you and go to Ghana for my people. I had to go to Ghana for my team. We did events, had our retreat, spent 1 month with them there. We set up an office and we did so many mighty things through the grace of God. Why do you want to give up now? Because you have one or two challenges facing you. You now see it as a reason why you should give up. Why? When you could have pushed harder. Why you could have pushed harder? If you don't do the activities of 2022, you will carry it over again. You will repeat that class. That's the truth. I didn't want anything to stop me. And these are my teammates. The time I launched my car, they came around with me, celebrated and all of that. And by the special grace of God, I'm a luxury car owner today. It couldn't have been possible if I didn't put in the hard work. It wouldn't have been possible if I didn't put in the hard work. It wouldn't have been possible if I didn't kill my excuses. It wouldn't have been possible if I did not say never, no to distract. I don't want distractions. I just want to stay focused till I hit it. And next year I have another project for next year, and I'm not giving up until I hit them. Are you deciding today that you're going to take your business seriously? Because the same can happen to you. That's the truth. It could happen to it could happen to you. If you're not getting results in this business, you are the one that decided not to get results, not the business. That's the truth of the business. The problem is the people, you individuals. Awesome. Okay, that was when I launched my car. I was so happy. I was so happy for myself. And if there's any congratulations I got, that the best was from my husband, because the day I paid for that car, he was telling me, well done, I'm happy for you, I'm proud of you. He was raining praises, accolades on me and all of that. And I was like, oh, thank God, eventually. So my disobedience has fetched me this result. Imagine if I listened to him the time he said don't do it, and I sat back not doing it, it would have been a lot of miserable and pain for me. My daughter as well is in this business, doing so well for herself. And I tell you, the same can happen to you. If people are telling you don't do this business, remember, when it's time to pay the bills, they will not come to help you. That is one thing I know. If they're advising you, encouraging you, leave it, it's a scam, it does not work, it's slow, it's not working, it's this, that. When the time to pay bill comes, they will not even come to your rescue. They will not even give you PIN. They won't even borrow yourself. That's a lot of dashing you. So why do you want to give up now that you know that this business can do it for you? Decide to take your business serious. Decide to build. Decide to learn. Decide to sharpen your skill. Decide that you're not quitting on this business. And I bet you this business will not quit on you. It's human beings that used to quit the business. The business doesn't quit on anybody. It's you that will decide that just want to quit. No, don't quit. Stay. Be consistent. Be showing up. You're not getting results, you're getting results. Be showing up. Be showing up. Because the hard time will come. I remember the hard time I faced during 2020. When my husband didn't have money, his business was down, flat, to zero. Kobo. He could not boast of kobo. But I had to step in for the family. I had to step in for him. Courtesy of this business. I remember then our rent expired. Rent. And they said we should move out from there. The owner sold the house, blah, blah, blah. That one is another wahala. And I saw him down, his world crashing. And I was like, you know what, no problem, no shaking. I know the business I'm doing. Let's do it. Go get a house. I counted 2 million plus. I gave him, I said, you're going to get a house, let's move. And he was looking at me, he was shocked. And one day he told me, I said, you know what? If you hadn't come, if I had not provided this money, if not for this your business, that's the way he put it. If not for this your business, I am sure we would have been in the village cooling by now. We would have been in the village, finished as in wasting by now. Because there was no other way, there was no other source for money to come. But I was able to step in to help my husband during that period. For everything I've said today, just pick one thing, that's all. Don't pick everything I've said. Pick one thing. Let that one thing resonate with you. And I told you, if you stay consistent building this business, you will never be put to shame, all right? You will never, ever be put to shame. And I told you that one of the strategies that helped me in this business was what social media. For people that know me in Global Stars, they know me as what social media. Makes you have social media. That is the blessing. In fact, that is one of my secrets to expanding my business and growing my business in this organization was what social media. God gave it to me, and I tell you, from it I've